Today's November 8th. Today's quote is entitled, "The Best Glorification of Srila Prabhupada." The best glorification of Srila Prabhupada is to be an example of what he teaches. This is so important because it's so easy to teach something that you don't follow. Teaching is just understanding concepts and explaining them. But to be able to follow it, that's the true following, obviously, or the true fidelity to the teacher. It is sometimes said, the best way to glorify a person is create a community that represents, that manifests in the lives of the community members, the teachings of that person that you're following. That's the best glorification. Oftentimes when people say, which spiritual master should I choose? And I would say, look at the disciples. Look what they're like. Do you want to be like them? Is the life they're living, is the consciousness they have, is who they are as people the way you want to be? Because if you have that guru, you're going to become like them. And so sometimes that really clarifies the issue for people, because then they understand, oh, this guru, he must not be very powerful, or maybe not even real, because his disciples seem kind of flaky and they lack spiritual substance. But when you see disciples, they're very alive, very knowledgeable, very genuine spiritually, and very kind and so forth, then you think, oh, what a wonderful spiritual master they must have. And Prabhupada said that to us. He said, if you act properly, that will glorify me, because people will understand, if you are pure, that means your spiritual master must be pure. That means your spiritual master must be special. So it's a means of preaching to follow perfectly what Prabhupada said. It's a means of glorifying Prabhupada. And I would say also, it's a necessity for us to manifest in our lives, or to personify, that's a better word, to personify Prabhupada's teachings in our lives 24/7, not just in public, but always. That's what Prabhupada wants us to do. So that's I think, the challenge that we all have as devotees. Even in difficult times, even when we're pushed and we're bitten and people push our buttons, can we represent and manifest Prabhupada, what Prabhupada wants us to do, how Prabhupada is teaching us to behave? Can we manifest that in every situation, no matter how much pressure is on us, no matter how much we're pushed, no matter how much we feel like lashing out at somebody, no matter how much we're being upset? Can we actually manifest that humility, that nature of a Vaishnava, the kindness, compassion, whatever it is, that is needed in that situation? Can we actually do that? If we can, then yes, we've understood what Prabhupada's teaching, and we're really representing him in the best way possible. Not just teaching it. So we have to, we should be a little introspective and look at our lives and see, is my life a manifestation of what Prabhupada wants me to do? Do I have opportunities to be humble, like situations where I could just admit a fault or apologize, but I don't do it? Do I have opportunities where I can do menial service, but I don't do it? Do I have opportunities where maybe I deserve to act in a certain way because I wasn't treated well, but I don't, but I act properly, or I act considerably, or even act kindly to people who don't deserve it? That's what we're supposed to do. That's what it means to be a devotee. And I'm not saying being a devotee is easy. I don't think we should make believe that it's easy. Just be, well, I can chant Hare Krishna, I'm a devotee. Yeah, but to actually live like a devotee, that's a real challenge. It's a 24/7 challenge. And we really need to be aware at all moments of the day, or conscious, if we're acting properly as a Vaishnava, because there's so many opportunities for us not to act like Vaishnavas, just to act like ordinary people, or to act like we used to act before we were devotees, because we are conditioned to some degree to act that way. So we really want to glorify Prabhupada in the best way possible. Let us 24/7 manifest his teachings in life to everyone, family, people in general, at the temple, devotees, non-devotees, everywhere. Let us manifest the qualities of a Vaishnava, and then perfectly personify the teachings of Srila Prabhupada in the world. That will be one of the most powerful ways to preach Krishna consciousness and to help other people embody Prabhupada's instructions. Because if they don't see it in action, it's really hard for them to understand it. And if they don't see it in action, it's really hard for them to believe that anybody could actually do it. But when you do it, then they see, oh, this is how I should act. Oh, yes. And you were also like me at one point in your life, 10, 20 years ago. So that means I'm encouraged that I could also come to this level. But if you don't, after 20, 30, 40 years, if you don't manifest it, people may doubt, well, you've been a devotee so long. And I don't see all these qualities developing within you. Does this process really work? Is it really just a sham? And you're telling me it works, but it doesn't because I don't see it in you. So we don't want to do that. We want to manifest Prabhupada in our lives, and that will give people faith in us. Hare Krishna.